Here we are at ACIM Lesson 153. Let's enjoy a deep breath. And as we do every morning in our daily spiritual practice, we clear the mind. And we prepare our inner terrain for all weeds to be pulled and for fresh seeds to be planted, seeds that take root and grow, seeds of truth. And all else is erased, disintegrated from our consciousness. We understand, we know why we are here. And we have made a supreme commitment to coming together each morning in community to raise the vibration for self and all, to remake this planet by remaking self. It is so, and so it is. Here we go. Lesson 153. Another shocking message from the Course. Another shocker. Here we go. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. This is a radical idea. The thought for today will have us change everything we ever considered to be true about safety and where true safety is. You who feel threatened by this changing world, you feel threatened? It's twists of fortune. The money's up, the money's down. And it's bitter jests, these bad things that happen. It's brief relationships. These relationships, you're in love with someone, then next thing you know, you're not in love with them anymore. And all the gifts, quote unquote, it merely lends to take away again. You're happy, then you're sad again. Attend this lesson well. If you feel threatened by this changing world, attend this lesson well. The world provides no safety. The world provides no safety. None. It is rooted in attack, this whole third dimension, and all its quote unquote gifts of seeming safety are illusory deceptions. You cannot find safety in this world. It attacks and then attacks again. No peace of mind is possible where danger threatens. Thus, if there is a threat, there can be no peace of mind. We can all agree on that, yes? If you think that you're threatened, or if you think your family is threatened, or your safety is threatened, or your money is threatened, or your health is threatened, how can you enjoy the peace of God? We cannot. The world gives rise but to defensiveness. So because we see all these things in the world that seem like it's a problem, it's a threat, something could happen, something bad could happen, we keep seeing bad things happen. That means that we think attacks are going on. Oh, look, an attack over here, an attack over there, an attack over there. rather than knowing, rather than knowing that there is no safety in the world and that all of this is only causing us to take up defenses. Pardon me. For a threat brings anger. Anger makes attack seem reasonable. It seems reasonable that you attack something that you feel threatened by. Honestly provoked, you did this, they did that, so therefore I have to retaliate. And righteous in the name of self-defense, I have to defend myself. Yet is defensiveness a double threat? For it attests to weakness. We have studied previously in the course, in this 365-day curriculum to be uncrazy. Yes, an untrained mind can accomplish no thing is our mantra for the year. We have learned that whatever we try to protect, the more protection we have on it, the weaker we think it is. So deep down inside, we think we are weak because we think we need so much protecting. Whatever you're protecting to that level is indeed weak. It attests to weakness. Therefore, all of our defenses attest to our weaknesses, to what we believe are our weaknesses, and sets up a system of defense that cannot work. We set up a system that can't work because there's no safety in this world. Now are the still further undermined. We're undermined because we think we're weak, and we're undermined because we set up systems of defenses that will not work. They can't work. They cannot work. You can't make yourself safe in this world. That bears repeating. You cannot make yourself safe if you're seeking to do it in this world. Now are the weak still further undermined, for there is treachery without and still a greater treachery within. The mind is now confused and knows not where to turn to find escape from its imaginings. That was me the entire time I lived in New York. We thought something was going to happen at any moment, and we had many defenses. They didn't work. We have many defenses. It is as if a circle held it fast, wherein another circle bounded and another one in that, until escape no longer can be hoped for, nor obtained. Attack, defense, defense, attack become the circles of the hours and the days that bind the mind in heavy bands of steel with iron overlaid, returning but to start again. We keep ourselves trapped in defense and attack. It's a trap. There seems to be no break nor ending in the ever-tightening grip of the imprisonment upon the mind. This is a mind prison. This is a mind prison. Defenses. This was the shocker. I remember reading this long ago, and I almost fell on the floor. Defenses, and we're going to be very clear on what defenses are in this lesson. Defenses are the costliest of all the prices which the ego would exact. It's the most expensive. All the defenses, all the locks, the lockdowns, the face coverings, the jabs, the locks, and then more locks, and then more locks, all the guns. I often wondered, what happened if you had this completely secure bunker and you were good? The bunker only works if you're actually able to reach the bunker. What if you're not home when something happens? What if you're on a trip? What if you're at the store and you can't get to the bunker? All manner of things could happen that would render the bunker completely useless for the purpose for which it's designed, which is to save you. We think a bunker can save us when the only thing that can save us is consciousness. Defenses. I'm not saying don't have it. Have it. Have it all. It doesn't have anything to do with the bunker. It has everything to do with the person and their consciousness who's constructing the bunker. The bunker is completely neutral. Maybe it will help, maybe it won't. We don't know. We do know one thing: a consciousness of fear produces according to its kind, and a consciousness of love produces according to its kind. In these defenses, in them lies madness, in a form so grim that hope of sanity seems but to be an idle dream beyond the possible, that when we are deep into our defenses, something might get me, something get. Do you understand that we are afraid of a boogeyman because they have still never found the thing that they told us in 2020 and 2021 was a problem? Please watch The Viral Delusion. They still haven't found it, but they came up with a picture of it so they could put it all over and smear it all over and make everyone very afraid. Oh, and there was an aim to the exercise. Oh, yes. And the aim was very successful. No. The sense of threat the world encourages is so much deeper. The sense of threat. In any given day, couldn't 20 things happen to you that would be bad? How could it not? Couldn't this happen and that happen and that happen and that happen and that happen? Could you have many contingencies against all the things that could possibly happen today that we would judge or deem as bad? It's the sense of threat the world encourages is much deeper and so far beyond the frenzy and intensity of which you can conceive that you have no idea of all the devastation it has wrought. Our defenses have wrought so much devastation, even if it is the defenses around the heart which prevents us from love. You are its slave. We are the slave of our defenses. You know not what to do in fear of it. You do not understand how much you have been made to sacrifice. We've been giving up our peace of mind because we think we're threatened. Who feel its iron grip upon your heart? It's a scary thing. It's a scary world. That's what I've heard. It's a scary world. Many, many, many things could happen to you. I won't even name all the possible threats to your person today. You do not realize, right in this moment, how many possible threats are there to your person right in this moment? This is very expensive. The whole idea of threat, attack, and defense is extremely expensive. It says it is the most expensive, it is the costliest of all that the ego would exact from us. This one is the most expensive. And we do not understand how pernicious and how insidious it is. You do not realize what you have done to sabotage the holy peace of God by your defensiveness. Wow. I have sabotaged the peace of God in my mind by putting up all my defenses and cowering behind them, hoping that my weak little self will be saved. For you, behold, the Son of God is but a victim to attack by fantasies. We think we're victims that can be attacked at any time. That's victim. If someone can come and attack you at any time, you're a victim. And these are our fantasies. By dreams and by illusions he has made, yet helpless in their presence, needful only of defense by still more fantasies, and dreams by which illusions of his safety comfort him. I can fall asleep. Honey, did you lock the door? Hold on. No, I don't know if I locked up everything. Lock up the door, lock up the windows. Honey, did you put on the alarm? Hold on. Let me go down and put on the alarm. I think I might have forgotten. Honey, did you put on the cameras? Let me go turn on all the cameras around the house. Honey, did you put on the motion sensors? Hold on. Let me go put the motion sensors on. Honey, did you ask Alexa and Siri to notify us if anyone came on our property? Warning, danger approaching, warning. And then after we do all that, we lay in bed and think we can have a good night's sleep. Do you? If you're so weak that you need that much protecting, it would be impossible for you to get a good night's sleep if you're that weak. If you're a victim and anyone can come at any time jump in your window, grab you, grab your kids, whatever, whatever. Well, this is a state of mind that can never be in peace. Give up all hope of peace. Defenselessness is strength. Woo! I tell you, when I started tapping into this principle, everything changed because I came from one of the scariest places that you can live, and we were racked with fear. I grew up in New York City. I was born in Harlem in the middle of the hood, and lots of things happened. As a matter of fact, we would be on the train, and New York was the kind of place where things suddenly happened. It seemed like it was peaceful, and then all of a sudden something happened. And it could be funny, like some homeless person on the plane, on the train, acting like they were an alien and they had antenna on their head. And it could be comical, to someone getting shot, and everything in between. And things just popped off from nowhere. And we were afraid. I did not realize the level of fear that was operating in my system until I left New York. And I went to Maryland at first. At first, I moved from the city to the suburbs. And I was jumpy for a while. And I was like, why am I jumpy? Why do I have this air about me of vigilance? What am I looking for? Am I looking for something to come? Because if I am, I always find what I'm looking for. Something has to come if I'm so vigilant to watch for something coming. Oh, it's coming because I'm calling it, because the power of decision is my own. Defenselessness is strength. When I began to tap into invulnerability, drop all your defenses. Don't walk around with it. If you're walking around looking like a SWAT team energetically, a vest on, only people who think they're going to get shot wear a vest, a gun, or guns. Only people who think someone's going to come get them and that they need to defend themselves or be ready for a counterattack are attached to guns. Please don't make guns the enemy. They're not. I say this over and over and over again. Guns, nothing wrong with guns. Don't judge guns. Guns are neutral, like everything in the third dimension. You can use a gun to go and hunt, or you can and feed your family, or you can use a gun to shoot up a bunch of people. That's all consciousness. Please don't blame it on guns. Have them or don't have them. That's a personal choice. No one is here to tell you what to think. All the question is what's really going on in my consciousness as I'm fill in the blank, as I'm eating my food, what's going on in my consciousness, as I'm walking about, what's going on in my consciousness. Do I have deep-seated fears of being attacked? Do I, on some level of my consciousness, feel threatened? Am I trying to protect myself? Am I trying to make me, my kids, my family, my house more safe? Am I maybe obsessed with safety on some level? Do I think things come to me from the outside? All of this was me. All of it. And even worse. Defenselessness is strength. It testifies to recognition of the Christ in you. When you recognize the Christ in you, what do you have to be afraid of? What can attack Christ? Perhaps you will recall the text maintains that choice is always made between Christ's strength and your own weakness, seen apart from him. You always have a choice. Yesterday's lesson, you can go listen to it again if you desire, or watch it on YouTube. Yesterday's lesson, the power of decision is my own. You always have a choice. You can choose human weakness or Christ's strength. The other way that the Bible puts it is, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. You can always choose. Those are the only two choices. Christ's strength is truth. Your weakness as a human is a lie. You always have a choice. Now, if you're opting for the human weakness, you need more alarms. If you're opting for you're a human and your body is the totality of you and that's all and that's it, amen, you better go get more guns because you're going to need them. Because you will call to that kind of mind will fabricate all manner of terror and horror that you will be ill prepared for, lest you have guns and alarms and all the pantries full of lots of canned goods for years and a big stock of water, all of it, because you're weak indeed. And something weak needs a lot. Or you could choose Christ's strength. And Christ's strength says, no matter where I am, I'm always taken care of. No matter where I am, I'm saved. I'm calling on the strength of Christ. I am the strength of Christ because I and the Father are one. You could call on that. You could live in that, eat, breathe, sleep that. And this would be the truth. Defenselessness can never be attacked. Defenselessness can never be attacked because it recognizes strength so great attack is folly, or a silly game a tired child might play when he becomes too sleepy to remember what he wants. You know, when kids are so sleepy and they're just wandering around and then all of a sudden they just fall on the floor. They're just so exhausted. You will drop your defenses, inner and outer, when you realize you are Christ. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? It's shocking. I don't know, maybe you still have a gun, maybe you still have lots of locks. It will mean something different. I'm not telling you to throw away your guns. I'm not telling you what to do at all. We're sharing information. We're sharing the Christ way of looking at it. Do with it as you will. What we're hearing here, and if it resonates at all for you, and it resonated for me every time I read it, and it resonates for me right now, defenselessness is strength. Defenselessness can never be attacked. You know, when we were in New York City, we knew exactly how to conduct ourselves because we knew that the nefarious characters were looking for certain characteristics in the people they attacked. They weren't going around willy-nilly attacking everybody. Someone who's going to attack you is not just randomly attacking people. They're observing, they're thinking, they're looking at where they can go. They're looking at the people that look like they can pick them up. Do you think that they're going to come to the strong man? Christ said, you cannot come into the house of the strong man. What does that mean? It means that it's not random. It's not willy-nilly. It's not out of the blue, out of left field, out of nowhere. Nothing comes out of nowhere. The power of decision is my own. I choose whether I'm going to walk around the planet as a fear-mongering, scary victim looking with tons of protection on. That won't work because my consciousness is just going to keep calling horrible things to me. I lived it. And the only reason I don't live it now, and I walk all around the globe, and it's very fascinating that I don't know what kind of neighborhoods I'm in. Why would that have to concern me? I mean, I'm not reckless. I'm not just gonna, I'm gonna do anything. I'm not gonna walk into the middle of a gang fight. I mean, don't be reckless and don't be fearful. You know who you are. Defenselessness can never be attacked. I'm telling you, it works everywhere you are because everywhere you are, that's where your consciousness is. Defensiveness is weakness. So what have we learned thus far? Defenselessness is strength. Drop all your defenses. That's actually strength. And defensiveness is weakness. All the defenses piled up, and you keep getting more defenses and more defenses and more defenses and more defenses. That's actually weakness. It proclaims you have denied the Christ and come to fear his Father's anger. What can save you now from your delusion of an angry God whose fearful image you believe you see at work in all the evils of the world. What but illusions could defend you now when it is but illusions that you fight? What is really going on when we're so afraid of everything? We're afraid of the retribution of an angry God. We're afraid we did something bad and something bad is going to happen to us. That's what's really operating all the way underneath. Because, underneath every thought we have, something's powering that thought. There's no thought without juice. I have lights here. They're plugged into electricity. If they weren't plugged into electricity, they would do no thing at all. Your thoughts, they're plugged into something. They have a generative energy behind them. Of course, that generative energy at its core is God, that you can use the God power to do anything you want. What is powering your thoughts? We could also call this intention. What's underneath the thought? What's really going on? And what the Course is telling us here is something that we would probably say, no. I don't fear God. I love God. Go deeper, beloved. We were taught, I don't know, if you were in a Christian, if you were in all the Abrahamic religions, which is probably more than half the planet. Abraham was just an incredible being. If you're in an Abrahamic religion, Islam, Christianity, Judaism, you learned that there is a God, a one person, a man who lived way up there, exalted. We called them 3 different names. Allah for our Islamic family, Jehovah or Jah or Yahweh in the Christian experience. And in Judaism, they don't even say his name because the name is even too high above for us to even speak, right? So they have a symbol, the tetragrammaton, YHWH, sacred symbol, sacred name of God. We don't exactly know how it's pronounced because the pronunciation was lost because people didn't say it. And YHWH, we don't know, it could be Yahweh, it could be Jehovah, it could be a few different things, YHWH. Yeah, we also know that Yahweh is not the original supreme source. Yet, when we consider this teaching that there is an angry God, and this angry God is a serial killer, and this angry God kills kids too, and this angry God, you don't quite know how to please the angry God. You're doing everything you can to be on the right side of this angry God. And after all that, he could still just, on a whim, smote you, kill you, send you to everlasting damnation. But this angry God made you. The story is so conflicted and so horrible. It's a horrible story, taken at face value. If we go deeper and deeper and deeper and access the ancient mysteries, we will start to uncover things that cause scales to fall from our eyes, and will no longer be afraid of an angry God. What is really going on in consciousness when we are so fearful of threat is that we believe in an angry God, and the fearful image of this angry God is being plastered on the evils of the world. We will not play such childish games today, for our true purpose is to save the world, and we would not exchange for foolishness the endless joy our function offers us. We have a function. You have a function here. Your function is very important. God itself is incomplete without you. We require everyone, all hands on deck. The world is requiring you to step up and fulfill your function. Your purpose is to save the world. For our true purpose is to save the world. And we would not exchange for foolishness the endless joy our function offers us. When you get on your function, when you get on your purpose, when you're doing what you were born to do, it's endless joy. It's endless joys. Spirit takes care of everything for you. You are taken care of. You are provided for. You are watched over. You are surrounded by nothing but the love of God. And only love can penetrate your field and your aura and all you touch. We would not let our happiness slip by because a fragment of a senseless dream happened to cross our minds. What if? No, 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 no. Don't let your happiness slip by because you think something bad is going to happen. And we mistook the figures in it for the Son of God, its tiny instant for eternity. We misread it. We misread the information. Don't be threatened by this world. There was no ascended master that walked this planet that was afraid of anything in this world. From Paramahansa Yogananda to Christ to Buddha, and they walked all over for many years. Buddha walked about for 40 years, everywhere, went everywhere, walked all over with all kinds of people. How come in 40 years, nothing, no one attacked the Buddha? You couldn't attack the Buddha because he had made his mind perfect peace. It's a secret. How delicious to know the secret to your safety. Christ's strength is all the safety you require. We look past dreams today and recognize that we need no defense because we are created unassailable. You don't need a defense. You were created unassailable. You don't need a defense. You were created unassailable. You were created invulnerable. You were created immortal. You don't need a defense. Without all thought or wish or dream in which attack has any meaning, we were created without any thought or any dream in which attack has any meaning. When a baby is born, they have no concept of attack. None whatsoever. We learned attack. We learned defenses because things happened in our childhood that we could not process. We did not have understanding. We did not have the tools. We did not have the conscious awareness to be able to cope with the things that happened when we were children. So we put up a defense, another guard, and we could call our collection of defenses, we could call that the personality. That's the first and biggest defense, the personality, because we stopped being who we truly were in favor of survival. What will get me to survive with these crazy people I'm around? Or if you weren't around crazy people, the crazy world, what? Consider it. As a baby, when you're born, even taking your first breath is painful on the third dimension. So even if you had a perfectly wonderful childhood, you still ran into walls, you still bumped your head, you still fell down, you still had tremendous pain because this is a pain planet. And you came here to save it. Save the whole world and save yourself. We look past dreams today and recognize that we need no defense because we are created unassailable without all thought or wish or dream in which attack has any meaning. Now we cannot fear. Make your consciousness such that it would be impossible for you to fear anything. For we have left all fearful thoughts behind. Just leave them behind. You can do it. And in defenselessness, this is why a lot of people don't travel, right? Because we're a traveling community and because we go somewhere every 10 minutes. This is why a lot of people don't travel. A lot of people don't travel because they think something's going to happen. What? And you can tell how much we think is going to happen by the level of questions we ask, because the more questions we ask, the less we trust the universe. I don't trust this universe. I need to ask some questions. I need to provide for myself. I need to get myself ready. So what about this? And what about that? And what about that? Every possible contingency. Because I have to be prepared because something might happen. What might happen? We cannot fear, for we have left all fearful thoughts behind. And in defenselessness, we stand secure. You stand secure in the absence of all the defenses. serenely certain of our safety now, serenely certain of safety, sure of salvation, sure of salvation. Sure, we will fulfill our chosen purpose. We're sure of it. The will of God cannot fail. As our ministry extends its holy blessing through the world, we're certain that we will accomplish what we came for. We're certain that as we stand in truth and rise in power and in strength, and in knowing I and the Father are one, dropping the defenses, they're very expensive. They're very expensive. It's the most costly of all the tolls. You know how the ego has tolls? You pass, you think a certain way, toll. What is the toll? Your peace of mind. Oh, that's too expensive. Give me your peace of mind and I'll give you more threats. That's what the ego says. Hand over to me that peace of mind and I'm going to give you more guns. Hand over that you think are going to protect you. Hand over to me your peace of mind and I'm going to give you more locks, more alarms, more video surveillance systems, more gates, bigger gates, stronger gates, taller gates, a moat, crocodiles in the moat. When does it end? Because that insecure mind lays in the bed and thinks of all its little pockets that it didn't protect. There's a little window in the back. Next thing you know, the next morning, they're calling the place, hey, please come and put a gate on my window on the back because I spotted a vulnerability. Never looking in the mind for the ultimate vulnerability. Oh, no, we didn't examine our minds. No, we wouldn't do that. Why would we do that? Why would we examine our minds and ascend? Why would we do that? Why would we examine our minds and cast out all fears? Why would we do that? Well, we could just buy more locks. Can you imagine standing secure everywhere you go? Can you imagine that everywhere and at every moment of the day, you never perceive or think of a threat? Can you imagine your mind completely rid of all fears? It's possible. You can do it. Many people have done it. Mother Teresa did it. How did they do it? Because they stopped thinking about themselves. They were thinking about everyone else. They were thinking about their mission. They were thinking about how can I serve this person? How can I serve that person? It's the selflessness. That's who you really are, because love is complete selflessness because it is the all. It's not selflessness as in I'm just going to neglect myself and sacrifice myself and get on the cross for you and just lay down as a mat, let you walk all over me. No, no. You are automatically and supremely taken care of. I've never been better taken care of than when I was on purpose. Never. When I was trying to take care of myself, it didn't work. It didn't work. You're not supposed to take care of yourself. And I don't mean that you're not supposed to be responsible. Everyone has 100% responsibility to do what? To change your mind, to change your world. Just imagine that state of mind. A state of mind that has no defenses because it knows it doesn't need any. A state of mind that stays in the peace of God at all times, no matter what. A state of mind that can go anywhere and hold the peace of God at all times without ever sinking into fear. Because fear is an illusion, it's a no thing. You can tell it's a no thing because the second you do the thing that you fear, it goes away. How could fear go away when you do the thing you're afraid of? Because it wasn't real in the first place. It was a big story in the head. Can you imagine being the owner, the possessor of a mind that is completely safe and secure? A mind that is not drawing its safety and security, whose ministry extends its holy blessing through the world. We could call that Christ. We could call that Christ. We could call that Mary Magdalene. We could call that Elijah. We could call that Daniel. Daniel wasn't concerned. Daniel was like, no, I'm not bowing down. I don't worship the way you worship. I will stay true to myself. Daniel is the quintessential story of integrity. I don't care if Daniel existed or not. Whether there was a historical Daniel has nothing to do with my life whatsoever. Because we don't understand how to read the wisdom in metaphor and allegory. I don't care if Daniel's a real person. Daniel is an endless, infinite energy that you can tap into. It's the energy of integrity. You can tap into it anytime. Daniel was not concerned. And we read both in the Bible and in the pseudepigrapha and the apocryphal works, Daniel got thrown into the lion's den not once, twice. Daniel sat among lions. Would we say that this is an extreme metaphor, an example of fearlessness? Stand on what you stand on. Tossed him into the lion's den twice. And the second time he was in the lion's den, once he got thrown into the lion's den because he was being in integrity. You see, a lot of people won't invite someone into the Christian witches room. We talked about this over the weekend at the Christian Witches Convention. Why? Because they're afraid of the word witch. A lot of people are afraid of the word witch, and they won't take a stand. I stand on what I stand on. They won't take a stand. And so because they're so afraid, they're out of integrity, because deep down inside, they really are a witch. They really are magical. Too afraid to be magical, though. So you're out of integrity. You can't really stand certain. You can't stand on your square. Daniel didn't have that problem. He stood on a square. They said, we worship like this and you're going to do it. He said, no, I'm not. And they said, yes, you are. He said, no, I'm not. And he kept right on, unfazed. He didn't so much as blink an eye. And here came the schemers. Oh yeah, the schemers that were like, we got to get rid of him. He's rising to too much power. We have to get rid of him, because your very presence is a threat to the egoic lower energies, because you know that they know that your presence alone mitigates and disintegrates it. Your presence does that. And they schemed and they said, hey, pass a law. King, pass this law. Anyone who doesn't worship according to how you worship, O king, and they phrased it in a way that sounded like, great to the king, sure. And once the king signed it, it's irrevocable. Back in those days, if the king says something, it couldn't be revoked. And sure enough, Daniel kept on going. He didn't even concern himself with what the haters and the schemers were doing. Came and grabbed him, put him in the lion's den. You broke the law of the king. Death to you. In this lion's pit, they served it 7 humans a day and 2 goats every day. It would serve it human flesh. They would throw humans to the lions every day so that the lions would not fear eating human flesh, because naturally animals, tigers, and a tiger can't even approach you in the wild, because animals don't attack humans. So they had to condition these lions to eat human flesh. And once they eat human flesh, then they'll keep eating. And they had to condition and train these lions that every time we throw a human in there, just attack it. Because it wouldn't normally happen that it would just be an attack just like that. Well, threw him in. We know the story. Came back the next morning, he was sitting there. The king ran to the lion's den. Daniel, I didn't know. My word had unanticipated consequences. Are you there, Daniel? He said, yes, my God was with me the whole time. He's probably their pet lions. Come out, these people are crazy. And then another time, if you read the story about Daniel, Bel, and the snake, this is an apocryphal work. They came for Daniel again, because Daniel revealed that the king was being huckstered by the high priest of this particular deity that wasn't doing anything at all. And Daniel killed a dragon. That's all in the books that they didn't put in the Bible because they worked very hard to scrub all the magic out of the Bible. The point is this: the state of mind you want to get is something akin to Daniel. He was not concerned. And to show you that it works, while he was in the lion's den for the second time, he was probably like, wow, this is becoming a habit. Yet Daniel was still in peace of mind, whether he was in a lion's den or whether he was on his rooftop place of prayer where he went every day at the same time as we do right now. So the second time he got thrown into the lion's den, an angel appeared to Habakkuk, however you desire to pronounce it, all the way in another place, far away from where Daniel was. And the angel came and appeared to Habakkuk. Habakkuk was cooking, and he was about to take the stew out and feed the people. And the angel said, Habakkuk, yes, and because he's used to talking to angels, obviously. He said, go take some food, some of that stew to Daniel. He says, well, Lord, I don't know where Daniel is. And in that second, while Habakkuk was holding the stew, the angel whipped him up by his hair. He picked him up by the crown of his head and instantaneously teleported him to the lion's den where Daniel was. A second. It's almost like someone taking you from Paris to New York. You instantaneously are there. Now, people will say, oh, these are fantasy stories. Not if you look at quantum physics, where they're talking about superpositions. Look up superpositions, that you're in all these positions at once, yet there's only being given attention on one position. I think angels are great conductors of quantum physics. Obviously, they know quantum physics because that's what they're working, that's what they're doing. I mean, we have explanations for these things. These things are not just merely fantasies. And they say, well, they defy the laws of nature. According to what we know, not according to all there is. And there, Habakkuk said, Daniel, the Lord God sent some food for you while you're down there. Well, Daniel was like, oh, thank you. He had a meal, fresh cooked, in the lion's den, sitting among the lions, while haters and schemers, and he was still in peace of mind. That's what the Course is talking about. It's talking about the same thing that's in the Bible. We didn't get the deeper mysteries of these things. We were trying to figure out, where are Daniel's bones? Let's prove it. In fact, archaeologists said Daniel never existed. Well, Daniel's alive right here, right now, if you know that Daniel's cosmic consciousness. Be still a moment, and in silence, think how holy is your purpose. Your purpose is very holy because your mind is very holy. You are very holy. How secure you rest. Think, be still, and think about how secure you are. Untouchable within its light, for I dwell in the secret place of the Most High. Safe under the pinions of the Almighty. You are safe in the secret place of the Most High. You're untouchable. God's ministers have chosen that the truth be with them. And you are God's ministers. Everyone's a minister of God if you want to be, if you want to answer the call. All the ministers of God. Who are the ministers of God? Those who have simply answered the call to save the world. That's all. With what? Love? With a religion? No. Whether you have to do it this way? No, we don't have any dogma. We don't have any doctrine. You're completely free to save the world in whatever loving ways you see fit. You could sing a song and save the world. God's ministers, you, I, we have chosen that truth walk with us. We walk in truth. We chose it because the power of decision is my own. Who is holier than they? Who is holier than you who walks in the light of truth? Who can be sure that his happiness is fully guaranteed? Your happiness is fully guaranteed. You're on purpose and you're walking in truth. And who could be more mightily protected? Who could be more mightily protected than you? Who knows you are one with God? You can't get better protection than that. And if you're looking for protection in the third dimension, you're looking in the wrong place. What defense could possibly be needed by the ones who are among the chosen ones of God, by his election and their own as well? If God chose you and you chose God and you're on the path, what What defense could possibly be needed by you? I'm telling you, family, when I got this, I started looking at all the defenses I had, all the things I had to keep me safe, keep my kids safe, take care of this threat. How many threats are there? You can't take care of all the threats. You can't take care of all the threats. So your mind is never going to be at peace because there could be another threat that you didn't think about. It is the function of God's ministers to help their brothers choose as they have done. It's my function, it's your function to help our brothers and sisters choose, sisters, brothers, and others choose, just like we chose. We chose peace of God. We chose heaven. There are still billions of people that are choosing hell. You can tell by how they comport themselves. And all we're here to do by our presence, not by preaching, not by proselytizing, not by telling people you need to choose heaven. Forget about it. Be love, be heaven, and stand next to people. And because there's such a thing as vibration, frequency, and energy, this is an energetic game we're playing, not a preaching game. This is not a shaming game, do this or else. This is not a game how we received it in the holy sciences of Christianity. Christianity is a holy science. It followed according to Christ, not according to all the rules they made up. It is the function. Here's our function of God's ministers, all of us who are light workers. We walk in the light, we walk in truth. We have chosen truth. It is our function to help the world choose as we have chosen. God has elected all, but few have come to realize his will is but their own. God chose everyone. Yet a lot of people, Source, the creator, is no respecter of persons. Source chose everyone. Yet a lot of people are like, I can't live the God life. No, it's too much denial, too much, because they got the religion story. They didn't get the love story. I won't even call a love story a story. It's the truth. They didn't get the love truth. And while you fail to teach what you have learned, you cannot fail to teach what you have learned here. Salvation waits and darkness holds the world in grim imprisonment. This is why every morning we say to share. It's our job to share. I don't need nor want disciples. I'm not looking for followers. I've said that 50 million times. I'm not looking for people to think that I'm whatever. Who cares? We are on a mission. What is the mission? To make what happened in Texas impossible. Why? Because the vibration of this planet is love and truth. That's what you came here for. You came here to help to first choose yourself. First, get yourself out the matrix, and then to help other people exit the matrix if and when they want to. Do you see how many wonderful people happen, in quotes, air quotes, happen into our rooms on Clubhouse, happen onto the YouTube live streams, happen onto Facebook? That's no happening. That's a synchronicity because you chose truth and you wanted to be around other people that became truth amplifiers. All of us together are truth amplifiers. Amplify it, because every day I'm going to wake up and I'm going to ask Spirit, what can I do to save the world? What is my role? What am I to do? Where am I to go? What am I to say and to whom? And then I'm going to carry that out to the best of my ability. That's what I said I would do. That's what I was commissioned to do. That's what I'm appointed and anointed to do. And I have never found a better thing to do with my life other than this. I have yet to find a better thing to do with my life than to help our brothers and sisters, brothers and others to choose heaven. There's nothing better to do with my life. And God, it's so much fun and so abundant. God, what else is there to do with your life? What else? When you find out that it says, few have come to realize his will is but their own, it's what you really want to be doing anyway. It's not some God. They got the story wrong. Some God in heaven. You're trying to please an angry God. That's pretty nebulous because you don't know. You could do all of the things and still get smitten. You don't know. I mean, he's fickle. That's not God. It's a figment of people's imagination. Let's put away sharp-edged children's toys. That's what the Course calls them. And while you fail to teach what you have learned, if you do not teach what you have learned, salvation waits and darkness holds the world in grim imprisonment. If we, the ones who have chosen heaven, do not teach what we have learned, you can't come here every morning, be in the amen choir. Yeah, Reverend Val, oh my goodness, my life is so changing. And you don't teach it to someone. Kids, come on. Gather up. Our word today is peace, and I can choose peace anytime I want to. Say it with me, peace, 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 peace. Peace is our word today. Peace is our word. What if every parent woke up every morning, gathered up all their kids and said, hey, kids, our word today is peace, and I can choose peace anytime. Peace, peace, peace. The kids are all on board. The whole world will flip on a dime because you're teaching. Learning it is just one step. You must give it. The only way we know you have it is if you give it. Nor will you learn that light has come to you and your escape has been accomplished. For you will not see the light until you offer it to all your brothers. You will not be saved until you offer it to everyone. That's why we keep saying share. You think I'm saying share because I want another like on a button on YouTube. Do you really think that means something? It means nothing. You think another follower on Clubhouse means something? It means nothing. Do you think another Facebook comment means something? It means nothing. You know what means something? One of our sisters and brothers seeing the light. Another one, another being seeing the light. Maybe they don't even press any buttons. They saw the light. Now our energetic bubble has grown. Peace is encompassing the whole world. We use these platforms for our own means. We're not used by them. I've been on YouTube for 13 years teaching millions of people about magic, money, and metaphysics. I'm looking for the ones that raise their hand and say, I'd like to be a master. Come on. I'd like to do more. Come on. I'd like to be bigger. Come on. You will not see the light until you offer it to all your brothers, all children of God, all. Not the ones that are the same color as you, not the ones you like, not the ones that you are in your little clan. I ain't got no cliques and clans. Not the ones that are just in your family. Okay, family, we're gonna do this together. Oh, that means everyone. That means while you're driving, you're giving it to everyone on the highway. While you're in a store, you're giving it to everyone in the store. You're standing there smiling, the peace of God, giving the peace of God to everyone in the store. While you're in the supermarket, you're walking down the Whole Foods aisle and you just picked up some cauliflower to make some cauliflower rice and you're smiling. You're in the peace and the love, and people look at you and they're just like, you're just so wonderful. Because God is wonderful and God is all. Oh, yes. This bears repeating. We're going to highlight it. For you will not see the light until you offer it. Offer it to all your brothers, to everyone. Become non-discriminatory. Everyone's in the light. Everyone gets the light. I'm sharing the light with everyone. I don't clamp down around certain people. I don't recoil from certain people, certain other people. I don't just shut up when I'm around people and don't share anything. Share, share, share. How many times have we said it in this circle? Millions of times, and I'll say it millions and more until we share, 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 share. As they take it from your hands, so you will recognize it as your own. This is the only place where you give something so that you can convince yourself that you have it. This is the only, spirituality is the only place, because if you give somebody a $10 bill right now, you don't have the $10 bill anymore. If you give someone this, you now know you really have it. Salvation can be thought of as a game that happy children play. We're playing a game. Happy children play this game. It was designed by one who loves his children. This game was designed by one who loves us. Don't you love your kids? I love my kids. And who would replace their fearful toys with joyous games, which teach them that the game of fear is gone? Aren't you teaching your children, no, 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 don't be afraid, when they fall or when they hurt themselves or when they get into a tiff with someone or they're fighting? No, 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 don't fight, because we choose peace. Don't have a warring consciousness, because a warring consciousness will make you a forever soldier. Don't you correct your children because you love them. Hey, come on, okay, stop crying, it's all right. They lost their favorite toy. Wah! It's okay. See, that's a belief in loss. It's okay, you'll get another one. Here, play with this one instead. Okay. Just like that, the kid is happy again. Don't you love seeing your kids happy? Like, what's better? Seeing your kids happy. Most of the time, I just scan my kids and see how happy they are. Can we be happier? His game instructs in happiness because there's no loser. There's no loser in the game of God. It's a happy game. Everyone who plays must win. We all win. Everyone gets the prize. Everyone gets the trophy. And in his winning is the gain to everyone insured. When you win, we all win. This is not a competitive game. This is a creative game. We're all creating. The game of fear is gladly laid aside. This game of love is so fun that you will gladly lay aside all the fearful games. Race to arms to see how safe you can make yourself in the third dimension where no safety it is. That game of fear is laid aside gladly. When children come to see the benefits salvation brings, you who have played that, you are lost to hope, abandoned by your father, left alone in terror in a fearful world, made mad by sin and guilt. Be happy now. You're afraid? Be happy now. Something could get you? Be happy now. That game is over. Now a quiet time has come in which we put away the toys of guilt and lock our quaint and childish thoughts of sin forever from the pure and holy minds of heaven's children and the Son of God. Make your mind so pure and holy. Holiness doesn't come from your behavior. Because some people say, oh, well, I was sexing this person and that person and the other person. I used to think that if I sexed this person, that person, the other person, which I was doing, well, I must be guilty. And I was okay walking around feeling the guilt because it was sure fun what I was doing. Guess what? In the game of love, you get to eat your cake and have your cake and eat it too. I never understood why you would have cake and not be able to eat it. What's the point of that? That in the game of love, we're not in guilt anymore. You'll know who to sex and who to hang with and who to be with, and you'll be vibing in it. You're not in guilt anymore. We think a holy mind is a mind that didn't do anything. You were sitting there like a nun and a saint and you just didn't do anything. Where's the fun in that? No, this game is have fun. We pause but for a minute more to play our final happy game upon this earth. And then we go to take our rightful place where truth abides and games are meaningless. So is the story ended. Let this day bring the last chapter closer to the world, that everyone may learn the tale he reads of terrifying destiny, defeat of all his hopes, his pitiful defense against the vengeance he cannot escape is but his own deluded fantasy. It's all fantasies. God's ministers have come to awaken him from the dark dreams this story has evoked in his confused, bewildered memory of this distorted tale. It's a distorted tale, fearful, distorted tale. It's terrifying. I used to live in this terrifying dream world. I was terrified of what? You name it. I had a list of all the things that could happen. And I'm an Enneagram 7, head in the head triad. Oh, we can think of some disastrous thing. Run by fear. According to that, our greatest opportunity, the 5, 6, and 7, is to overcome fear. Fearful people can make a list, an endless list of things that could possibly happen to them. Oh, this could happen, and that could happen, that could happen. God's son can smile at last on learning that it is not true. It was my distorted tale. It was a fantasy I made up in my head. Today we practice in a form we will maintain for quite a while. We're getting a new form and we're going to maintain this for quite some time. We pay very close attention to the new form. We will begin each day by giving our attention to the daily thought as long as possible. Keep your mind on the daily thought as long as possible. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. I've said it to myself millions of times over the years of studying A Course in Miracles. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. I chewed on it, I digested it, I wanted it to become part and parcel of who I am. In my defense, I didn't want them to just be pretty words. I wanted them to be a way that I move and breathe and flow on this planet. In my defenselessness, drop your defenses, Valerie. Got defenses against love, defenses against his people, defense against attack, defense against somebody saying something you don't like, defense against this armor. Who needs armor but a soldier? And how long are you going to keep fighting? Forever? Well, then be prepared to give up your peace of mind forever. So that's the first thing we're going to do. 5 minutes now becomes the least we give to preparation for a day in which salvation is the only goal we have. The only goal we have is salvation. That's the only function here, is to save ourselves and the whole world by changing our minds, therefore changing our energetic our frequency and our aura and what emanates from us. And people will love being around you. Oh, people love being around you. Why? Because you're such a bright light. You're so peaceful and you're having fun. You're playing this wonderful game of how many wonderful beings can I save from the darkness by bringing the light. You're just playing a game in which everyone wins. So we're going to start the day that 5 minutes is the least, it says. So more than 5 minutes. We're just going to dwell on the thought for as long as possible. 10 would be better, 15 better still. And as distraction ceases to arise to turn us from our purpose, we will find that half an hour is too short a time to spend with God, nor will we willingly give less at night in gratitude and joy. That stay on it as long as you can, as long as possible. Just stay on it. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. Stay on it as long as it's possible, morning and night. That's our practice now. We're going to hold this practice for quite some time. Do you remember in the very beginning, itty bitty stages, lesson 1, baby? Here we were, all babies. Just 1 minute, baby. Oh, 1 minute, 30 seconds. Can you hold it for 30 seconds? Yes, 30 seconds. Now you've practiced and you've practiced and you've practiced. Even us who have been longtime meditators, we're getting better and better and better at holding the thought without having intrusive, fearful thoughts or intrusive thoughts of any kind. And we're going to do it in the morning and in the night. In gratitude and joy at night, you'll fall asleep with it. I fall asleep with the Course at night. After all the things that I want to do to prepare myself for a wonderful night's sleep, whomever you may be with, preparing yourself for a wonderful night's sleep, engaging in just the most amazing sex. And then as you are ready to fall asleep, then that's the last thing you do before going to sleep. You give your attention to the Course message for the day. You turn your thoughts to God. Each hour adds to our increasing peace as we remember to be faithful to the will we share with God. Every hour we're just going to remember. At times, perhaps a minute, even less, will be the most that we can offer as the hour strikes. Sometimes we will forget. At other times, the business of the world will close on us, and we will be unable to withdraw a little while and turn our thoughts to God. Yet when we can, we will observe our trust as ministers of God in hourly remembrance of our mission and His love. Every hour, remember the mission and the love in which we practice the mission. And we will quietly sit by and wait on Him and listen to His voice. We quietly listen to the voice for God and learn what He would have us do the hour that is yet to come. What would be our next hour assignment? While thanking Him for all the gifts He gave us in the one gone by, as we receive our gifts that we have and we're thankful for them, we ask, what am I to do with myself in the hour to come? That's going to be a good question for me because I get easily distracted and I work on 50 million things. Okay, what am I to be doing this next hour? Now, as the Course says, every hour may not be possible for you because maybe you're the pilot of a plane, We don't want you to stop every hour. Close your eyes and shut out the whole world and meditate. No. If you're driving people, maybe you're an Uber driver, or maybe you're a trucker, or maybe you're a long distance driver, or maybe you're a bus driver or a train driver, whatever, a train conductor, maybe you're a captain of a ship. There are some things that would require your full attention, as opposed to every hour closing your eyes and going within and taking a few moments. If you can do it, yet we're not hermits. The Course said you do live in life. It says that at times, sometimes we're forgetting, other times the business of the world will close on us and we'll be unable to withdraw a little while and turn our thoughts to God. Yet when we can, this is not a demand. This is you want to, and you're still living life. You're here to take the Course into the world and make it practical. You're not here to withdraw from the world. I have to get away from all you bad energy people every hour so I can make myself the Holy Son of God. No. If you're a teacher and the hour strikes and you're still with all the kiddies, and maybe you're right in the middle of a lesson, or you're right in the middle of a parent-teacher meeting, you're probably not going to say, pause for a moment. I have to do my ACIM lesson. Stop being pious and demanding. In time, with practice, you will never cease to think of Him and hear His loving voice guiding your footsteps in quiet ways, where you will walk in true defenselessness. With practice, it'll be the norm. For you will know that heaven goes with you. It'll be the norm. Heaven will be your norm. Nor would you keep your mind away from Him a moment, even though your time is spent in offering salvation to the world. Thank you. He will not make this possible for you who chose to carry out His plan for the salvation of the world and yours. You are carrying out the plan for the salvation of the world and of yourself. How could it not work? Today, our theme is our defenselessness. Drop all your defenses, beloved. You don't need them. You're an immortal, indestructible, unassailable, unattackable entity of vast, infinite power, wisdom, and love. What does an angel need? Protection. And you're mightier than the angels. Does an angel need a gun? Does an angel need locks? Defenselessness. Say it with me. Defenselessness. Say it with me. Because we've got so many defenses piled up. Defenselessness. And while we've been in this experience already, they've started to melt away. We clothe ourselves in it, defenselessness. Because before we were clothing ourselves in all our safety things, safety clothing, safety everything, safety protocols, safety all over. And you hear it throughout the whole world. Your safety is our top priority. Why is my safety your top priority? My safety is already guaranteed by God. You don't even have to concern yourself with my safety at all. We've coated this plane in a microbial coating. And I crack up. Microbial. It was something that kills bacteria. And I thought it was a virus. Oh, come on, people. There's no safety in this world, and rarely is there any sense in it as well. We rise up strong in Christ and let our weakness disappear as we remember that His strength abides in us. Boom. We will remind ourselves that He remains beside us through the day and never leaves our weakness unsupported by His strength. If you have a tendency to go to being a weak little victim human that can get sick and get old and die, if you get tempted to tip off the boat, you're on the cruise ship of God, and you fell over into the ocean. Oh my God, the ocean of despair, I'm drowning. Just remember, wait a minute, let me remind myself. I walk in the strength of God. With God, all things are possible. I and the Father are one. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. You gotta be ready to remind yourself in case you fall off this lovely cruise ship that God has us on. We call upon his strength each time we feel the threat of our defenses undermine our certainty of purpose. Uh-oh. I just had a thought that I might not fulfill my purpose. What? Ah ha ha. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. I cannot fail in being on purpose because it's the will of God and it's really my will too. It's what I really want to be doing. I'm completely aligned with the universe. Why would anything come get me? Come on now. We'll pause a moment as he tells us, I am here. Just pause. And just hear the voice for God. I am here. Okay, God's here. There's nothing else I need to know. There is nothing else I need to know. God is here. Your practicing will now begin to take the earnestness of love. The earnestness. Because, sometimes when we practice the course, we kind of willy-nilly, we kind of wishy-washy. Oh, I remember to do it. Maybe I don't remember to do it. Whatever. Maybe I come in the morning at 7 a.m. Maybe I don't. You don't have to wonder if I'm coming or if I'm not. I'm coming. Are you coming? Have you told yourself, I'm coming? A lot of you have, which I love. Let's plug up. A lot of you have, which I love. You've told yourself, I'm coming, and you do. That's what we're talking about. You've told yourself, remind yourself, to help you keep your mind from wandering from its intent. The mind wanders. Be not afraid nor timid. There can be no doubt that you will reach your final goal. The ministers of God can never fail because the love and strength and peace that shine from them to all their brothers come from him. You are emanating the light of God. You cannot fail. These are his gifts to you. Defenselessness is all you need to give him in return. Drop your defenses is all you need. You lay aside but what was never real to look on Christ and see his sinlessness. Deep breath. I feel like I've been through a workout. It's a spiritual gym. It's spiritual weightlifting. That is Course in Miracles, lesson 153. The floor is open.
Well, every time I think I have this particular lesson learned and down packed, I watch everyone around me show me that I don't. And it's funny that this was today's lesson because yesterday I had the experience with that every time I looked around the corner. Like, I was talking to my dad and I was pulling up to Walmart in one of the probably richest neighborhoods in Ohio. And my dad was like, don't stay out at Walmart too late. They even do human trafficking in the good neighborhoods. And I'm like, what do you want? I'm going to Walmart to get a mop. Like, I was confused. And then, I had to sit back and think, okay, that's like the third time today somebody has told me something terrible could happen to me. And it made me laugh, but at the same time, it's like, so somewhere up under something within me, it's sitting there. Even though it sounds crazy when I hear people say things like that to me, obviously something within me is playing that somewhere in my subconscious mind. I don't know. So this lesson I definitely need to meditate on because there's something in me that still thinks I require some sort of safety. I'm complete.
It's deep in there. It's embedded in our consciousness. That's why we're seeing it. Who else? Anyone coming up? Love all the shares of the room this morning. Love, and every morning. I'm giving massive appreciation and honor, love to this universe of life that shares every morning with us and through us. I'm sharing the room now myself. Blessings, Kristen. How you loving?
Loving, well, good morning, good evening from Thailand still.
Thailand.
This lesson was like right on time. Over here it's evening, so I read it this morning, but hearing it again and the way that you broke it down, again, it's just perfect timing. Right before hopping on here, PJ and I were having a conversation about like, purpose. Like, it's great doing everything, but purpose. And it's like, okay, of course, brings us back to purpose and our function, which is happiness. And happiness is through and remembering what we came here to do: save ourselves and save the world. And it's funny how you had mentioned that could look like singing a song and saving the world, which I totally resonate because I sing. And there's a song that I've been listening to like on replay by Sean Paul. It's called Good Day. And it's just like, it's a good day. Like every day I wake up with a smile on my face, and that changes people's lives so much. And here in Thailand, I didn't know this. I've been to Copenhagen and I was told like, oh, this is one of the happiest countries in the world. But Thailand is considered one of those places too. It's very spiritual. People practice, a lot of Buddhism, Hinduism, and anyway, it's just an overall positive outlook on life, and everyone's smiling. Like, it's really rare to encounter anyone who's not smiling, and that's what this lesson was a reminder, and just my environment was a reminder that, may not know exactly what things are supposed to look like and how that plays out, yet I can still be confident in who I am and just being a bubble of light and happiness. And that does require going into the shadow and seeing all the messed up stuff in here and getting deep into consciousnness. But in the shadow, we can come into the light. So, yeah, that's my takeaways from today. Thank you so much for all that you do, and having this room every single day. It has totally changed my life, and know through me it's going to change thousands and thousands of other people's lives in this course. So thank you, and thank you, A Course in Miracles. And I'm complete.
To tell you the honest truth, this changed my life radically.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Mama Nika.
How are you guys today?
We're fabulous. I'm missing all of y'all. Wasn't the weekend astounding?
It really was. And I was happy I was able to be there. And from that weekend, I learned a lot about myself. It was something that I needed to purge, I want to say, to go through. Because I wasn't feeling well. Like, all of a sudden, I wasn't feeling well. And then, as soon as on the drive home, like something clicked. It just clicked in my spirit. And I knew what I had to do, like off the rip. And as soon as I had that feeling, that slushy feeling, I felt better. It was like a release. I was on clouds. I felt so much better. But all day yesterday, I just kept saying to myself, I have nothing to fear. I have nothing to fear. I'm sustained by the love of God. All day that was just in my head. Every time something came up, I have nothing to fear. I'm sustained by the love of God. And I'm around a lot of men, like my father, my brothers, my friend. They always, to me, they are overprotective. Don't go over there on that side of the pool. Mind you, as you guys can see how big I am, don't go over there to that side of the pool. And I'm like, what are you scared? I'm not go to the store, it's too late. I'm the same, I love God. I have nothing to fear. Every time it's like they're fearful for me to do anything, go by myself, but I've been doing this for a long time. I've always went places by myself. I've always, I've traveled. I do things out of the ordinary, I would say. But the people around me seem fearful. And I always see myself saying that, what are you scared? Why are you so scared? What are you scared? I'm going to people's neighborhood. What? Why? And that reminded me when Harmony said that about what her father said. I'm like, what are you so afraid of? I'm going over here to do something, and then I'll be right back. But and again with this lesson for today, when it said that we're responsible for helping our brothers, so the things that we learn, we should be sharing them.
That's right.
And I know I do that. Sometimes I have to scale back what I say, or what's the word? Look at the person who's I'm speaking to, because sometimes they don't want to hear it, and sometimes I do get some conversation. So I definitely share everything I'm learning every day, even to my children. I'm sharing. I send every clubhouse goes to somebody.
Love it.
I send it in their chat, and I send it to people that I know will listen to it. Even the ones that I think won't. Maybe one day they may click play on something that they need. But I'm definitely. I want to help my brothers. And like you said, I definitely want to become a master. I want to master this mind. Yeah, and I'm complete.
Love it. Love it. Love it, Mama Nika. Love it. And I have to applaud you for pushing through and conquering yourself and reaching a new level in self-mastery over the weekend at the Christian Witches Convention, because you went everywhere. You were walking through New Orleans with us. You were at the events. You did it. And you could tell that at certain times it was a challenge and you took yourself on. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
And you won. You took yourself on and you won. I love that. I love when people take themselves on and stop looking at other people. I love that. That's how you win.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good morning, dear. AKA the Oracle. Oh my God. AKA the Oracle. I'm still going to send you some Satoshis. You just reminded me. I'm going to send you some Satoshis. Wait till you'll see these pictures of Dia as the Oracle from the Matrix. Wait till y'all see these Matrix pictures. They're out of this world. Okay, go, Dia.
I just wanted to share how this lesson made me think about Tai Chi as far as the defenselessness. Like, even though we know that Tai Chi is a form of martial arts, is that when someone attacks you, you go with the flow of the energy instead of resisting it in order to defeat the person against you. That's why a lot of senior citizens in Asian countries learn Tai Chi, because it's so deceptive that they would be learning a form of defense through defenselessness. And so I said that was for me a call to action to get back into Tai Chi, to get the concept of defenselessness in my mind, because the premise is to just go with the flow instead of resisting. And I'm complete.
That is delicious. What a concept. It's exactly what Robert experiences because Roberto Del Rey, our incredible opera singer, is a polymath, multi talented, and he is a kung fu master. And his body, he's registered his body, his hands and body are registered as a deadly weapon. And so when you walk about like that and you have that, are you concerned? No, you're not concerned because you can end anything instantaneously. It's the same concept that your mind is free because you know, because you know.
It's funny you mentioned that. I was speaking with some of the witches over the weekend, and we were talking about guns, and I told them I don't carry a gun because I was a trainer, and I trained people on how to fire them, so I never doubted my mind that I could pick up any gun and do what needs to be done with it when it needs to be done, so I don't feel the need to carry it. When I do handle them, I usually do them for sport things that are fun instead of things that are negative. And also, like you were saying, guns don't kill people or hurt people. People hurt people.
That's right. That's right.
I'm complete.
That's right. As a matter of fact, I always thought it was fascinating. I was thinking of going to a gun range and learning how to shoot because it seems fascinating to me. You know, it seems dangerous and fascinating. So, yeah, guns don't do anything. People do it. Don't blame the guns. People do it. All right.
Good morning.
Good morning. We missed you over the weekend.
I know I missed y'all too. I was in the chat and showing the kids, and the kids were like, "Mommy, are we still going?" And I'm like, "Yo, we gonna make it." So we're going to still go because we had never been. However, I definitely did miss y'all. Like I was a little tearful. But it's okay.
It's okay.
It is definitely okay. I told Dr.
You were with us.
Listen, it's the lesson I'm about to learn again. I will definitely be at the next one. The next event, not the next Christian Witches Convention. I don't know when that will be, but whatever the next event is, resistance will not stop you there this time. So, on this lesson though, I was thinking, and I've never really been like a person that was afraid something was going to happen to me. Like I don't lock my car door. I've always been gotten on about locking the house door. However, I've always been one of those people that found the need to defend myself, like verbally, defend what I was saying. And after sitting and listening to the lesson and thinking about it, it's like, oh, okay, like I'm not afraid. I wasn't necessarily afraid something was going to happen, but I get fearful that what I'm going to say or what I'm saying might be interpreted wrong. So I like instantly defend why I say something. And well, not as much anymore. I just noticed like that was a habit I had. And now by realizing like it's fear, it's still fear. You fear what other people are going to say, fear how they're going to respond to you when you do or say something. So this lesson was an eye-opener for me that I don't have to defend shit. Like, say what you say. Your truth is your truth. No one can say that your truth isn't your truth. So this is what I got out of today's lesson, and I'm complete.
That's one of my favorites when we're at a retreat or we're at an event and someone says something and then they receive feedback from what they said. Oh, no, that's not what I meant. It's exactly what you meant. We have defenses on what we say. We have defenses on how we feel. We have all kinds of defenses. Family on YouTube, and if you could go to the YouTube video, if you could, and comment and let us know what would you love to learn at one of our upcoming events. What's most important to you? What do you want to know about? What do you want to know about? I'm going to be asking that because we're going all over the world. We're going to Paris. We're going to a lot of places. We're in the south of France. We're going all over the world, all over the world, all over the world. Tonight is Ascension. If you are not in Ascension, hop in Ascension. If you are not up on Ascension, and you're in Ascension and you're not up on Ascension, get in the course today. You can always get back on the bike. Be in class tonight. Classes tonight, live classes tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And what we're teaching tonight is this whole NFT space. Before we taught in our third class of the third week, Ascension, we added a new class for Ascension members. Ascension last month, we had our NFTs on Bitcoin. Now we're going to take you into how you can turn your book. I have 7 book resources for all the authors out there. How would you like to sell your book once to someone? They buy it, and then they sell it to the next person, and you make money again. And then they sell it to the next person, and you make money again. And they sell it to the next person, and you make money again. I'm turning all my books into NFTs, and you'll see how. How can you turn your courses and your coaching programs into NFTs? How can you turn your retreats into NFTs? We're turning everything into NFTs, going straight into the crypto market. We're moving headlong into Web3. That's all happening tonight. If you're not in Ascension, you're missing the party. Plus, in Ascension, we have all the other courses that are created by incredible creators in our community that we've partnered with. You got the Passive Income Streams course from Harmony that you get for half price when you're in Ascension. As soon you'll have more courses because the Lesters, Mr. and Mrs. Lester, PJ and Krista are working on an incredible travel course. It shows you how to kill the 7 demons. They have identified 7 demons that stop you from traveling. And they're going to tell you how they overcame all of them to go to something like 5-6 countries in 60 days and now living in Thailand. Living the dream, baby. Living the dream. Who's next? Oh, by the way, all of that is at valerielove.com. Brand new website launched. When you go to valerielove.com, you see the new website, and we're making the top picture mobile responsive on it. So if you can look at it on a desktop, a laptop, or an iPad, a tablet, and you'll get the full, it's showing on the YouTube channel right now. I just love what our team did with the website. Incredible. It's beautiful. It's fabulous. I love it. I'm so thankful. Who's next? Jay, is that you? How are you? All right, we have been working to get B up here, a spiritual being in the relative world, a journey of remembrance. It's not working. Is it working for you, Harmony, or Coach Michelle? It's not working for me.
No.
It's not working. Sometimes you can fix that by going out of the room and coming back into the room. Thank you for the 13 shares. Woo-hoo! Sending massive appreciation to everyone who was at the Christian Witches Convention over the weekend. Make sure. Hi, Ari. How you love it? Make sure you go to valerielove.com, hop in Ascension before tonight. If you're already in Ascension, hop in the Discord before tonight and hop in your course before tonight so that you can get the update for the course and for the class, live class tonight. Also, make sure if you are in Ascension that you are registered for the July 31st event. I see that event is starting to fill up. That event is going to fill up. If you are not registered for the event, all Ascension members in good standing, that means you're paid up, you're in class. We're not doing halfway in and out. You're in it or you're not in it. If you're in it, do the work. We have a free event for our Ascension members that's coming up on July 31st. Reserve your space now because spaces are going. And it'll fill up. And when it's full, it's full. Even if you're an Ascension member, you cannot get in once it's full. So you want to log into your course. You want to go and get the link so that you can register for free You don't have to pay. You do have to register to tell us you are coming to Washington, D.C. on July 31st. If not, you won't have a seat. Even if you're in Ascension, you won't have a seat. If you are not in Ascension, then you get to pay in Bitcoin for the intensive one day. This is an intensive one day on the money of the future and why you're still broke. Or why you will be broke, even if you're not broke now. You will be broke if you don't get on the money of the future. You will be. We are watching the greatest wealth transfer of all time. And spiritual people, especially magical people, we need to be on the cutting edge of the wealth transfer. Because if you knew how corrupt and rotten your mutual funds are, your 401k is, the stock market, and what's that app? Robinhood. If you knew how utterly corrupt and unwinnable it is for you to be wealthy in that environment, you wouldn't be there. I'm telling you what I know, former financial advisor with American Express for 7 years. I was in that system. I saw it from the inside. And I can tell you one thing, if you don't move to crypto, if you don't move to Bitcoin, yesterday I did some transactions on Bitcoin. It took 10 minutes. Move this amount of money, it costs 69 cents. Move this amount of money, it costs 89 cents. Like, why are we doing anything other than Bitcoin? Why? Why? Why are we out here in these streets paying crazy fees to all these different banking institutions? Why? We have something better. You don't still have a phone on your wall with a cord, because now you have a mobile device in the palm of your hand, and you can communicate with the whole world for virtually free. We don't ride horse and buggies to work anymore. You have a car, maybe you call an Uber. It's just better. Now we did it with money. It was only a matter of time before that was going to happen. Okay? All right. What tips for a newbie that doesn't know a lot but seeking in this journey? I love that. Ari, for a newbie, be here every single morning at 7 a.m. no matter what. No matter what. So come to the event, July 31st, Washington, D.C. It's only $199 for the day. If you take what I teach you, you'll probably make 5, 6, 7 figures from it. $199 for the day, and you can only pay in Bitcoin. We don't accept trash money for this. If you're still dealing in trash money, I'm going to pray for you. Because moving forward in all the events, you'll start to see that all the events you'll need to pay in Bitcoin, because we don't take trash money. Trash money is that fiat dollar that today it's worth $1 and tomorrow it's worth 80 cents and tomorrow it's worth 50 cents and the day after that it's worth 20 cents. That's what happened. It's 90% devaluation in the last few years. We don't take trash. That's trash money. Okay. Now, if you're like me and you have seen that being on a Zoom is not your highest level of learning, and that you know you learn much better in the room where we are sitting with you and we show you what to do and you have your computers out, then come to the 2-day intensive that is just before the free Bitcoin event. The Bitcoin event is unbank yourself. Can I ask you a question? What is your bank doing for you? Are they helping you? They're robbing you blind. No matter how much money you have or how little money you have, they're robbing all of us blind. Why are we using them? Okay, now go to the 2-day event, and the 2-day event is a significant investment because what we're going to teach you will make you a significant amount of money. How to turn your books, coaching programs, retreats, courses into NFTs. The different platforms for doing that, how you build your audience, step by step. I have a 7-step formula. I like to put everything in steps, everything in formulas, so you don't have to figure anything out. You just go implement. You execute, you get the result. That's Thursday and Friday. And now we know it after I'm working on a 3rd NFT project now. I've worked on my son's, and consulting with me soon will be $25,000 plus to consult on NFTs. So to come for a couple of grand, super cheap for what you're going to learn. Super cheap. I see a lot of people going out there and trying to create NFTs without an audience. How is that going to work? It's not. You require people, lots of people right? All right, so these events, register today, get your seat today because the seats are going, and when they're gone, they're gone. I'm not going to open registration again. We've done that before, like, oh my God, I didn't get in. Please open registration for me. And we've done that. We're not going to do that this time because you're hearing about it now early in advance. We'll be talking about it in June and July. This is next month. The time is now, and registration will end soon. Bust a move. And if you've been listening to me for a while and you say, oh, Reverend Val, you told me about Bitcoin when it was $180, $200. We've made so much money in crypto that I kind of forgot some of the coins that we were invested in because we were just buying so many coins. I mean, what are you waiting for? Invest in yourself and your learning, especially when it comes to the money, because that is the place where they can puppeteer everyone. Any questions? It's at valerielove.com. Go there right now. Go there right now. Go there right now and secure your space. If you're in Ascension, go right now. You got half price for the 2-day event before the Unbank Yourself event. Go there right now. Go to valerielove.com. Click on Global. Oh, go to valerielove.com anywhere on a laptop or a mobile device. I mean, not a mobile device. It'll work on a mobile device, of course. Go on a laptop or go on a iPad or a tablet so that you can see it as we work on that front image being mobilely responsive. Go to valerielove.com, click on Global Events. That is the next event that's coming up. It's July 28th and 29th, Thursday and Friday. I'm going to spend 2 full days with you in a room to teach you this. It's a whole new level of wealth. It's insane. It is insane, the money in these streets. It's insane. I mean, have you ever heard of residual on your book? Yeah, you sell the book once, so you have to keep selling books. What if your one book, that every book you sold was a stream of income? I think of all the thousands upon thousands upon thousands of books I sold. If all of those books were NFTs, do you understand what is happening right now? If all those books were NFTs and people just passed them to the next person when they were finished with them, and they sold, okay, they sold their NFT, they just put it on the marketplace, and when it sold, I got paid again. And when that one book sold again, I got paid again. To no end, my kids will still be getting that money. I mean, I don't know what more we need. Perpetual royalties on one book. You sell 10,000 books, you have 10,000 perpetual income streams. I don't think we get that. I'm a teacher. I'm going to make sure we get it. I'm going to make sure we get it. I'm going to do everything in my power. You got to do your part and step up to the plate. Unbank Yourself is the free event for Ascension. If you're not in Ascension, then it's only $199 in Bitcoin. We don't accept trash money for it. For Instant Income, which is the NFT event, the 2-day, full day NFT event, I'm going to spend 3 full days with y'all in DC. One is free for Ascension members. That Saturday event's free for Ascension members. For everybody else, it's only $199. For Instant Income, $22.22. If you're not in Ascension, if you're on Ascension, $11.11. You a steal. Get in there. You know, I have a passion and a heart for people that are like underdogs. But I got to tell you something. It's hard to work with underdogs because underdogs are underdogs for a reason. I was an underdog for a long time. Why? Because my mind was shackled. So we got to break the shackles. That's what the course does. We break the shackles and then we get up and we get on planes like all these incredible souls we saw at the Christian Witches Convention over the weekend. I was floored. And you're right, Angel, there's not going to be another Christian Witches Convention because we're going bigger. Next year, we're doing Ascension Fest, and it's going to be a whole spiritual festival. And Christian Witches will be there too, of course. Christian Witches will have events there. Do you love it? Ascension Fest? And a real fun location.
I'm gonna be there.
You gonna be there? Ascension Fest? It's a festival.
Yes, ma'am.
with music and everything. A festival, cosplay, get your costumes together. We got to come up with all the community can vote on whatever you want to be the theme for the party, for cosplay and all of that. Oh my God. It's expansion, it's expanding. Huge, 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 huge. So we have huge things we're accomplishing next year and this year. Get in. Be at every event. Make that a goal. I'm at every event. I'm at every event. Harmony goes to every event. A lot of us go to all the events. Be at every event and watch how your.
I just booked my hotel to DC as you said that. You must have saw me hit the book now.
Baby.
I promise you, if you cannot get there, if it is in the US of A, there should be no reason why you can't get to the events. If it's out of the country, there should be no reason, but especially if it's within the continental US where you could just drive there, like even with gas $5, there's no reason why you can't get to an event. So yeah, I'm really excited about our event in July. I cannot wait to learn more, do more, be more, create more. For me, it took a minute for NFTs to click, but once it clicked, it's like on and popping. Get in where you fit in is all I can say, because I missed the Bitcoin wave, even though I was sitting right at Reverend Love's feet listening to her talk about it. And for whatever reason, I didn't jump on it. So if you were there with me during that time and you also know the pain of not jumping on, then I'm sure you are trying to delve into NFTs and all that is being taught in this moment. Start building that community. Like I always say, you never know when something is going to click. Like I have been doing different things with my Instagram and it just seemed like nothing took fire. It was like 2, 3 this morning and I was just staring at the wall. And I was like, oh, let me do a reel. I woke up, and by the time it was time for us to do this call, that reel, for whatever reason, that I posted at 3 in the morning, is the reel that went viral. And this reel is not even special, I promise you. I was like, this is for real? So when we say build your community and just keep going no matter what it looks like, you don't know what that video is going to be. You don't know what that book is going to be. You don't know what that course is going to be. You don't know what that NFT is going to be until you do the thing and keep doing the thing and keep setting out those buckets for the abundance to flow through. Like, you have to take action on these things. It's great to talk about, oh yes, I'm going to sit here and meditate today. Great. After you're done with your spiritual practice, what are you going to do next? So I hope everyone, especially if you are in Ascension, I hope that you have reserved your spot. If you are not in Ascension, you need to pray about that one right there, because what is being taught is life-changing. I'm complete.
You know, it's funny. As a teacher, I love the light bulb going off over people's heads. And until that light bulb goes off over your head, you're not going to do anything. I know this. I've done this for a long time. As a teacher and a coach and one who is a seer and endeavors to share what I say, hey guys, a tidal wave is coming. You on the bottom now, or you're maybe not where you want to be, or maybe you want to absolutely catapult your results that you already have. If you were successful in the fiat world, I've been successful in the fiat world, you will kill it in the crypto world. It's when the light bulb goes off over your head, they won't be able to stop you. If you are confused or you're in Ascension, you don't know what to do, the light bulb hasn't gone off yet. That's all. Keep going. Stay committed. Stay the course. Don't be a quitter. Don't quit on yourself. And in 10 years from now, when a whole bunch of people who took action are making money hand over fist on their NFTs and their crypto and all that, there will be some people saying, Reverend Val, I was listening to you say that, but that's not a fun thing to hear. I was listening to you say it, but I didn't do it. That's not a fun thing to hear. It's just not when we can make the choice. Yes, it's scary. Yes, it's confusing. I don't know anything about it. Yes. Yes, it takes a lot of time. Yes, it's going to break your head to watch some videos and figure out what a blockchain is. Do it. If you want to do it for yourself, do it for your kids so they won't have to go and get jobs. Do it for your kids. That's all I have to say about that. Anything else? Otherwise, we'll go to our galactic signature. Can be the light. I love this question. Do you have tickets for live stream? Nope. Why? Because I am an in-person teacher. I only do this out of necessity. If I could teach a live group of people every single day, I wouldn't be on YouTube, I promise you. Because what we experience over the weekend, we are in your face, live, real. We don't do virtual. We do real hugs with real people in a real room, looking in real eyes. That's what we do. That's what this community does. We're not a YouTube community. We're not. YouTube facilitates us coming together. Clubhouse facilitates us coming together. Facebook facilitates, Instagram facilitates us coming together. We come together in real life. Imagine that. Real life. Is that amazing? I promise you, what did y'all get from being in real life this weekend? You tell us. What did y'all get from being in real life? We don't do virtual. We don't do all that. Well, I can't say we don't do it. We do it so that we can get somewhere.
This event, but in 222, what I got out of real life was a deeper understanding, and the hugs were life changing. the love in person.
Come on.
is undescribable.
Woo,
and
baby.
on top of the lessons, is priceless.
Woo! Honey.
I would definitely say that. Definitely the love and the lessons learned, and how everyone was, just genuinely loving. Everyone was genuinely loving at all times.
Come on, Mama Nika. You can't beat the hugs. And all weekend, I kept asking our family, can you do this on YouTube? Can you do this on Zoom? And what was the answer every time? No. You don't know what you're missing. Who else?
This is Dia. I wanted to say, for me, it was being able to just physically be present with everyone and get out of my mind of judgment, based on people that I knew in my past. I no longer compare you all to them, because I've actually laid hands on you, so to speak. I've actually seen you with my own two eyes, and I've gotten a chance to move about the city with you all, to see you all in action, so that I'm not making up a fictitious persona of any of you in my mind, just based on memories of people from my past. So now I know you all on a personal level, and you know me, to say that I don't have to fear being with any of you anymore, because I feel like I know you. And that was important for me.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Dia, you can't fake the funk when you're looking at someone's eyes, right? You can't fake the funk.
Not at all.
Love it. Dia, by the way, you look so spectacular on Sunday at Christian Witches Church. You look freaking fantastic.
Thank you. I felt the same way about you. Everybody I showed a picture to, they were like, you sure she's not your age? I said, yeah, we're like sisters.
Oh my God. I tell you one thing, if people had told me how it was going to be, in years age on the planet, I'm the big 6-0. In spirit age, we're all infinite. We're timeless. And over the weekend, oh my goodness, it was so funny. Zaire said, "No, Casey, really, you look like you're in your 30s for real." And I was cracking up. All these dudes was hollering at me on Saturday as I was on my way. Hey, beautiful. Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Queen walking here. Goddess here. Hi, gods. Gods and goddesses walking here. It was really fun. So fun. Wendy, how you loving, Wendy? Wendy, can you unmute? Y'all was on the winning team. Wendy was on the winning team over the weekend at the Christian Witches Convention in class on Saturday. They were on the winning team and they won Satoshis. I give away money at the events. Come on, Wendy, talk to us. I don't know if Wendy can unmute. Can you unmute, Wendy?
Well, while Wendy figures out her mic, I just wanted to say, when you asked the question about what do you get in person, man, let me tell you, like looking at these little circle icons, that, like even when you click on them, you can't really blow it up. Like the energy that was shared was priceless. You can't. It's powerful to be like on YouTube Live and on Clubhouse Live, more powerful than listening to a replay. But just imagine the energy that's in the place and space when you are in the room. Like Sunday morning, I woke up and I was so swollen from head to toe. Like it was painful to even stand. And I told Rev, I said, I'm just gonna hop on Clubhouse and then I want to make sure I see you before you leave. So man, as soon as they went live on Clubhouse, I was like, okay. Like it was like that. I knew that there was a huge difference in the energy that I felt via Clubhouse and via actually being there. I promise you, I packed my stuff so fast and got there as fast as I could because there's nothing like being in the room. And when you're in the room with people who are spiritually aligned in consciousness, the amount of ascension that you experience, you can't even measure it, as opposed to us being on Clubhouse and like looking at these little icons, even like with Kumar. Oh my goodness, like I look at her icon every day, but when I saw her in person, like the energy was amazing. You don't get that off looking at these itty bitty circles, or even on YouTube. Like you really don't get who the person is. So it's something about that energy that's not only elevating, but it's healing. Just being surrounded by love, it's something that you definitely don't get unless you're in the room. And I experienced that on Sunday. I still went swollen, but I knew I had to get up and go because it was just something different about sitting by myself in a hotel room on Clubhouse as opposed to being where the energy was.
Oh my God.
I'm complete.
Oh my God. I am flipping through these pictures and showing it on YouTube and Facebook. I got the gobbles. These pictures they're astronomical. I mean, they're beyond. They're beyond. I mean, are you seeing these pictures? Come on, Wendy, can you talk?
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes, we hear you now, love. We hear you.
How y'all living, family? I honestly got to say, being in person, it is nothing like you're gonna get your ass handed to you, you're gonna cry, you're gonna laugh, you're gonna love. It is nothing like the images of being together in person versus on this social media app. I have so much experience of being with the people that is undetectable. You can't even talk about it because it's so overwhelming. It's so precious. And it's hard for anybody to not be in our community and in our groups and not feel the love. I'm complete.
Woo! Come on, baby. Not to mention, I paid people to learn over the weekend. I said, okay, now, family, I had to bribe our family. Come on, family. I didn't have to bribe the family because everybody wanted to learn. In class, I bribed them and I said, The winning team, we had 4 teams. They got together in their teams, they named themselves, they picked the captain, they played the game. Did y'all play the game?
I was shocked that they asked me, like, what do you want to name it? I was like, okay, I got a 4.0 GPA, so I'm automatically like, okay, I'm deciding. I just love
The game was amazing. And you know what? Watching all of y'all play the game was so fun all day. It was so fun watching y'all play the game. I love it. There is nothing better than being in the presence of God as you, India, as you, Mama Nika, as you, Krishna, as you, Dia, as you, Angel, as you, Coach Michelle, as you, Harmony. There is nothing better than being in the presence of God as you. Don't let this social media hijack your mind and think you can live a virtual life, baby. When we get traveling the world, eating real beignets with real people, having real hugs. Don't let this social media world fool you and think you living life. Don't let it. I'll tell you one thing, if I could burn my Zoom app and never have a Zoom again because I was with y'all in person all the time, do you think I would be on Zoom? Deuces Zoom? Zoom is a necessary evil as far as I'm concerned. Who else? Are we ready for the Galactic Signature? Come on, come on. Come on, come on. Who bought us the red pill and the blue pill? She bought us red pills and blue pills for the Matrix party. Wait till you'll see all these pictures.
God morning.
God morning, beloved.
Yeah, I was actually just clapping, but good God morning. Yeah, we had a to have a roommate and to meet somebody and to get to know them, and I always believe in being in the room, always. So, the Facebook and YouTube is good, but it's not like sitting and talking to somebody. Meeting everybody that I've been looking at for the last however months since January. On these, like Carmen said, these little round circles. So, yeah, it was because somebody said, well, what was the thing you got that you most liked out of being weekend? Someone who didn't go, and I said, being in a room with people and being able to talk to them. That was the best. Yeah. And I'm complete.
How about the tea room on Saturday, Kamor? That 4th-generation tea room.
I'm sorry. Yes, the tea room. I really want to get back to tea room. But standing back and just looking at everybody sitting down, just gazing at the sea of women.
Amazing.
And no, not just women, Robert and Ollie were there. The people who came.
Brothers, sisters, and brothers.
It was comforting for me. It was comforting. You're in a room with people that they're not afraid to talk to you. They're not afraid to touch you. They're not afraid to, it was just comforting. It was, it was safe and comforting. So that, for me, it was really being with people. Because I have been in a lot of groups that some of them are just disbanded because of the big C, Even I'm not even in contact with a lot of my neighbors anymore because I didn't do the jab. So they, they'll talk to me, but I'm not invited in their homes anymore.
Wow.
So it's interesting,
Wow.
It's an observation.
You know what's fascinating about that, Kamor? If we think something protects us, why do we think someone else is a threat? If your mask protects you, why are you adamant that someone else wears a mask? If your jab protects you, why are you adamant that someone else has a jab? Because it doesn't protect you. It doesn't. It can't.
Right. I mean, and they've been jabbed, double jabbed, and triple jabbed.
And about to be fourth jabbed. And
Right.
now they're finding that these cells, these things live in the liver. What do you think is going to happen when these things land in people's livers? What do you think is going to happen over the next few years? 4 years from now, we're going to, did you take the Pfizer or the Moderna or the J&J jab? You may be eligible for.
Right.
We've seen this so
Yeah.
many times.
And I
I've heard not be eligible.
What'd you say?
I said I will not be eligible.
I won't be eligible either.
I will not be eligible for compensation.
No, I won't be either. None. Yeah. And hey, it's up to you if you want it or don't want it. You
Yeah,
know?
I have a friend who's always in my, well, you have your mask on, you're in your airport. And I said, you know what? You've had COVID twice,
With the
and
mask.
I haven't had it at all. Why are you in my face? So, I don't know. No, I do know. I'm on this call. I'm complete.
It's exactly what we talked about this morning, that defenses. We think all these defenses are going to save us, and they don't. When we come to the harsh reality and the real truth, the truth is they don't save you. Your consciousness is the only thing that will ever save you. Get to your consciousness. That's it. Okay? It's mass hysteria, you know. It's all good because the planet has seen mass hysteria before. Remember, they need to always have a war, and they need to always have some kind of epidemic, a flu. How many times have they come up with something? Ebola, HIV. How did HIV, this is a good question that you can ask yourself. How did HIV determine who was gay and who was straight? It's narrative, it's made up story. How does HIV, oh, you're gay, I'm going to attack you. Oh, you're straight, I'm going to leave you alone. Did anybody ever think about that? I was like, it's not adding up. Critical thinking skills, it's called critical thinking skills and intuition. That's all. And you'll start to see the holes in the story. They need something going. They need to keep something going. And if you keep going with them, well, you're just going to be, walk around with your Band-Aid on your arm and be happy because you got a Walgreens red Band-Aid on your arm. I saw someone with it yesterday. They're so proud. I got the jab, sleeves up, we're all in this together. What propaganda. Such propaganda. Who's next? Butch Woman is on Clubhouse. Come on, Najami. Najami, you have to press that little button at the lower right corner to unmute yourself so we can hear you talking.
Hello.
And welcome to Clubhouse. Hello. Welcome to Bush Woman. Welcome to Clubhouse because you have the new symbol and you'll have it for 7 days. So when you go into all the rooms, people will grant you grace and mercy if you don't understand how Clubhouse works, and they'll help you because you have the new sticker on for your first 7 days on Clubhouse. So welcome to Clubhouse.
Well, thank you so much. I still have, yes, this is all due to me, definitely. It was an honor, a privilege, and such fun hanging with you ladies, making new friends.
Ladies and gentlemen, the husbands, and
that's
yes.
right, Robert. I'm sorry I missed your fantastic singing on Sunday, and the brother, the sister's husband, I can't recall his name.
Ali,
that's right.
Yeah.
Ali the Great.
Our brothers.
Yes, Ali. Yes, it was such a pleasure to see how he was open.
Oh yeah.
To learning new information, and it was absolutely fabulous. I had a great time. I learned or relearned things that was already learned, but it was a fantastic time. I enjoyed myself, and looking forward to another event. Indeed.
And you know what I like about our events? We don't just sit down all day. It's not boring. We have field trips. We go out. We have experiences. We went on the cemetery. How was the cemetery tour at night? How did y'all like that? That was fascinating.
know what was fascinating about that? When the gentleman said to take the photograph, right?
Oh
And
my
I posted
God.
the pictures that I took in the telegram. The pictures that I took, well, one of the pictures looked like a figure, like
Oh,
a
yeah.
child. It's the dark photographs, and then I took three others. That was pitch black. But for some reason, when the photograph came out, it came out like if it was in the afternoon, like late in the evening setting, and you can see like orbs of light in the
Yes.
picture, which could represent souls. 'Cause I know
Ooh.
photography has the ability to capture things that you cannot see. So I just found that to be very, very fascinating. I wasn't scared. I mean, cemeteries don't bother me anyway.
Yeah, I like that.
It was a very interesting crawl, and it kind of gave me an idea. If I was in Trinidad, I would create a crawl like that in Trinidad in the cemetery at night to see who would come.
Oh my goodness.
It was good.
Do it.
Yeah, I had a good time, definitely. Something like that. Because you have a lot of famous or known people who are buried in certain places. But but people are so spooked by cemeteries based on what it is that we have been brainwashed to believe, you know? And some of us did have a reaction. Sister Vashti, Queen Vashti had a reaction being there.
Yeah,
so that I found to be fascinating as well, you know? Yeah.
Y'all can best believe this witch got her cemetery dirt. Child, I got my cemetery dirt.
Yeah, I got mine as well too. I have it right on top of my altar.
It was a bunch of shadow figures out there.
There was a lot of shadow figures.
Yes, there was. Some cameras was able to capture some of those. I mean, they're just dead bodies, but the energies of the spirits are still there.
Spirits are still there. What about
when I saw those pictures in the chat? My response to Princess when she posted all the pictures of all of the energies,
all the spirits
that
you
all were able to capture. My response was, "Oh hell no!" And I spelled "no" like N-A-W. So it was like it was after class, like 12 hours later. She said, English is her second language. She was like, "I did not know. What do you mean by no? I did not know. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me?" And I asked Google, I asked Siri, so like she was looking up my misspelling of the word, and it was just so funny. I said, "Wow, that caused a 10-hour misunderstanding where she thought I was disagreeing with her pictures." And I was like, no, that's just slang. I knew that particular experience was not for me. And when everybody was posting their pictures of what was captured, I was like, that was confirmation I was supposed to be where I was, and I'm glad everybody got their cemetery dirt and had a fabulous time.
What was your discomfort regarding being in a cemetery?
I can't even I couldn't even tell you the one thing. I just know that cemeteries, even when people go to them, like on Mother's Day, I had went with my girlfriend, and that was the first time I had ever been to a cemetery. Like on Mother's Day, and I was shocked, awed, astonished that it was 1 billion people. People had brought their chairs. They were setting up picnics and barbecues. And I was just like, I don't know, like cemeteries have just never been my thing, especially honoring people that have ascended on to greater life. I feel like there are, like with my grandmother, for instance, on Mother's Day, I would never think, oh, let me go to a cemetery. I would go to her favorite place, maybe go to a flower garden. I don't know, cemeteries have just never been my place to connect. And that's just me. And I don't know, and since I don't know all of the spiritual practices and things that I should be doing to ensure that I don't do something that I don't know I'm not even supposed to do in that type of space or environment. So for me, it was just like, it's never been my thing or any place that I felt comfort or interest or any of those things.
Did y'all see the pictures on when we were in the Najami, when we were in the one where the wall was there with all the dead people, that with all the crypts on the wall, there were actual faces on the crypts. Did y'all see? Like they were peering out. In the pictures, of course, you couldn't see this. They were captured in photography. There were literally faces looking out at us, like as we walked by. I don't know who had that picture.
No.
For real. You could see the
Well, it's
faces.
funny thing that you said that because when I was walking and I took a second glance, I felt okay. So when the guys brought us in, and this is for the cemetery with the hospital. And for a brief nanosecond, I felt as though somebody was next to me. So I turned and I looked, right? So I said, okay, all right, well, maybe somebody was next to me, perhaps, right? But if you are sensitive or empath, very strong empath type of personality, and we all are empaths actually, you can actually feel them, and sometimes you see them. I used to actually see people who passed away, and I used to see them a lot in Trinidad and in New York until I asked Spirit to let me stop seeing them. It was kind of freaking me out a bit. But I'm comfortable with them, and they're around us all the time. Your ancestors, your grandmother, your aunts, when you cannot find something, I call her my grandmother, and before I know it, I find what I'm looking for. But the tea room, I'm going to talk about. The tea room was very fascinating because I did get a reading from the tea room. And I like the energy and the vibration. The tea was absolutely wonderful, wonderful teas. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to buy a tea because I'm a tea drinker. But I was very fascinated with the reading in the tea room. It really reconfirmed some things that I already knew and I'm working on actually. So that was a great tour. And the walking tour and then going out dancing, I came back to New York with a little swollen knee. And my ankle still a little swollen after dancing in heels, So I'm glad Hannah Princess and Richie, Wendy, Danielle, Ashley, as we went dancing off our voodoo, so to speak.
Let me tell you something. That cemetery, I wanted dirt from where they had bought all the yellow fever victims. Do y'all remember that part of the cemetery?
That was wild. Yeah, that was crazy. 1,500 a week.
I thought it was something like 1,500 a day, or it was 1,500 a week. 150,000 dead people over there.
I thought he said
A day.
I heard a week. All right.
Oh, okay. Either one is bad. 1,500 people a week or 1,500 people a day. Either one is bad. 150,000 dead people over there.
I was shocked that he said it was more dead people in New Orleans than it was alive.
That's right.
The thing that got me was when he said that it's water surrounding the area and the souls are basically trapped there because it's like a barrier, like a spiritual barrier. So I'm just like, wait, so does that mean if you die in New Orleans, you just stuck there like for eternity unless you spiritually know how to get past the water? Now that part really had my mind effed up.
It's the most haunted place on earth because you have 4 million dead people that are they're trapped. They're all there, and only 400,000 living people. The dead outnumber the living 10 to 1.
I remember the second cemetery we went to, and when I was walking, before he even said anything about the cemetery, like when I had looked, it was so kind of bizarre for me because of course it was nighttime, but when I looked, it looked like it was daytime, and I could see it looked like a community type of area. Like I saw like little kids and I saw like adults, and they seemed like they was very peaceful, and it was like community-ish. And then he said, well, this cemetery was, and he was saying that was the one with like the community and like how it was like a certain type of people who was there. I'm like, holy smokes. I just saw that with my mind's eye before he said that. I thought that was like really cool right
there. The cemetery and the way they bury dead people and what they do, and how you have a year and a day to be in there cooking in the crypt that's above ground and super hot. They actually cook you in like an oven. And then somebody comes back like a year, 2 years later, sweeps what's left of you into a bag and puts you in the bottom part of the crypt. It was unbelievable. Those New Orleans, if you go to New Orleans, go on a cemetery tour. Freaking
I
unbelievable.
was actually kind of nervous. Like I didn't drink any alcohol there because of I know alcohol is a spirit, and I knew that I was surrounded by a ton of spirits. I mean, granted, yes, it's spirits here where I'm at on the East Coast, but that place, I was like, nope. I don't want no spirits up with me. I ain't drinking no alcohol. And that's just how I felt. I don't know if that's just my scariness, but I just felt like, no, I'm not doing that. You see?
I was so proud of you that you actually went on a cemetery tour with us at night, because you were like, no, I'll go in the day. At night. You were good though, huh? It was good.
I mean, I was right there with you. You feel me? So I knew that it wasn't too
Ain't nothing
much.
jumping on this
And I
bitch.
would have definitely probably had to like crazy something. I knew
Get
that I
along.
had you right there, so that did feel like a. I felt safe. I felt safe being there with you.
Our whole pack of witches ain't no ghosts coming jumping on us. No, they like, oh no. Let's go get the unsuspecting ones. Yeah, they're not messing with us. We know the deal.
This is D. I want to chime in on that. For me, I wanted to go on the day tour because when I grew up, we used to go to visit our relatives every year at our home church. So I was used to doing that. But I kind of chickened out when it came to the night tour, because after you gave us that class before the daytime cemetery walk, I got to thinking about my whole month that I spent in my head with a bunch of negative thoughts. And I realized that I had subconsciously scheduled my tea room reading during the same time that you all were going on the daytime cemetery tour, which I wanted to be a part of. And I thought I would try to catch you all to go on the nighttime tour, but things kept working in a way that kept steering me away from it. And I thought about it afterwards, like that night when I got back to my room. You know, why are you kicking out? You know, why you gonna be there with your whole group of friends? You're gonna be safe or whatever. But I said, you know, the thing of it that really stuck out to me was I had sat with negative thinking for so long and created some things going on in my personal life that I could see, that I felt like I would be open to attachment if there was any spirit that was looking for an opening. And so I was like, well, I feel like I subconsciously steered myself out of that to keep me from being a conduit for somebody.
Okay.
And that's exactly why I didn't drink there, because of that very reason.
This is Dia who is speaking.
I feel you.
Well, I tell you one thing, your spirit will always lead you true and correct and accurately. Just follow your spirit and watch what unfolds. I like that you were watching, Dia, what was unfolding and not, wanting to control it. See what unfolds and then say, oh, I see what's unfolding here. And my spirit knows where to take me. Your spirit knows where to take you, which is beautiful. I loved that bottom of the cup tea room, and someone bring up our Galactic Signature for us. I love that bottom of the teacup tea room was started by women in 1923. The place is like 90 something years old. And it is the continuous oldest tea room in New Orleans. And it was started by a woman who had other women come, and even women of color, all women, all kinds of women come, and they would read tea leaves in the bottom of the cup, poems, and tarot. And they actually outlawed selling tarot readings. Believe it or not, it was against the law to read tarot for money. So they charged you for the tea and you got the reading for free. And it said on the sign, they had the old sign from 1923, and the sign said, tea room, readings gratis, or like the readings are on the house, because they couldn't charge for readings. Can you imagine that they were trying to shut down the women? They were trying to shut the women down. And the women have gone continuously 4 generations. The great grandmother passed it to the grandmother, passed it to the mother, passed it to the daughter, who owns it now. That tea room where they read tea leaves, poems, and tarot has been going since 1923, almost 90 years. That was the iconic location of my first ever professional tarot reading that I received probably about 20 years ago from a tarot reader. Was that? So, bottom of the cup, tea room, has a lot of meaning for me, a lot of meaning. And that reader, he recently passed on. They told me when I was there. He was spot on. Read my life for filth. I tell you, read me up one side and down the other with tarot. He recently passed on, and his ghost hangs around there. Well, his spirit hangs around there, and sometimes they hear him laughing. Sometimes they hear him, moving about. Well, of course, it's New Orleans. Everything's haunted in New Orleans. It's like Salem. Everything's haunted. Who has the galactic signature? Or anything else to add before we conclude?
I have it.
Go for
All right.
it.
So today is a blue lunar eagle day, Ken 15. I polarize in order to create. Stabilizing mind. I seal the output of vision with the lunar tone of challenge. I am guided by the power of accomplishment. I polarize in order to create. Stabilizing mind. I seal the output of vision with the lunar tone of challenge. I am guided by the power of accomplishment. I polarize in order to create. Stabilizing mind. I seal the output of vision with the lunar tone of challenge. I am guided by the power of accomplishment. Blue lunar eagle, Ken.
And that's my galactic signature.
Is that your galactic signature?
It is.
Woo! Blue eagle on the lunar tone.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my goodness. Happy Galactic Signature Day, Wendy.
Thank you. No wonder I woke up feeling all happy and jittery and everything. Okay.
It's your day, boo. It's your day.
It's my day.
It's all about you today. It's your world. Hello, Ken 15, Blue Lunar Eagle. Love you, fam. Send some love to everyone all over the world. Of course, to our love tubers, our Facebookers. Love you. Have a beautiful day, family. You're such a blessing.
Love y'all.
You're such a blessing. ThatWeLove.com.